last week in a sunny park in Lisbon. I met one of my fellow course creators, entrepreneurs, who just went on an 18-month sabbatical. And just before that, she completely closed down her program, a successful program that made millions. Yeah. And she saw me and said, like, I have a question for you. I haven't seen you on the socials, yet I know you're doing really well. I am thinking to get back into the coaching industry, but the one thing I don't want to do, she says, is to post on social media, or to have to post on social media. And I laughed and I was like, yep, you're right. Actually, I haven't been posting. It's coming up to 2 years, 1.5, 2 years now, but maybe even longer. But that I've been really terribly not present on the socials. And honestly, I'm sharing with you that little conversation that I had with her because I've had my best year so far. So 2026 already made more money in our business than we did in all the years before per year. Yet I didn't post on social media for about 1.5 years at least. And how's that possible, right? I want to talk about that today because, and here's the thing, I first didn't want to talk about it because I did feel a little bit ashamed about it, especially since I'm a business coach, or one of my things is business coaching, obviously helping multi-skilled coaches, experts, really integrity, impact-driven creators, healers, therapists, coaches to build a business that makes a lot of money, but that also creates an incredible amount of impact positively on the people that you work with and the people that find you. And that's really one of my passions. I think it's so beautiful to not only be connected to ourselves and be who we truly want to be, but then also to have a way that makes us money, right? And of course, one of the things I teach as well is social media. And let it be like my business was founded on organic social media. Like I created my first 6 figures years with organic social media. I know a thing or two about it. I know what to do. I know that it is important to show up. I know that it is fun also to do, but I didn't. And for a while, I feel like I lost my voice. I just didn't get to it. It was just all the time the thing that would fall off my plate, and I'd maybe get back for a couple of days or weeks, but then I would fall off again. I couldn't really talk about it because I felt a little bit ashamed about it. I was like, yeah, next week, really? But then I noticed that when I started talking about it, people were actually like, that's really inspiring. So how did you not show up on social media, yet your business continues and is flourishing and it's growing? And I thought I have to talk about it. And I also want to say with that, I still really love actually contributing positively to social media and creating inspiring content and making sure that I have content out there that is free, so that anybody who is not working with me currently, that anybody who doesn't, right now isn't the time or the place to be in my programs, that they still can learn a lot. I recently enrolled somebody in the Embodied Business Mastermind, one of my programs, and she said, I already implemented so many things from your podcast alone, and that really gave me a lot. Or people come to me like, I've listened to your podcast. That is often one where we really create that connection. I am here as well to state I'm back. This is one podcast that I'm recording. Everything, like my team is on board. I'm on board. We have all the podcasts already scheduled for July, so I can really say it now for sure. I'm back. I'm actually excited about creating more free content again. I'm excited about showing up on the socials, and also I wasn't excited about it for a long time, and I still had a flourishing business. Last year, I almost took half a year kind of off. It was a semi-sabbatical year for me to do some deep dives. I did share some things around that, but to really do some inner soul searching of how I wanted to continue. And this year, I started off really well. So how did we do it? And I'm saying we because at this point, it isn't just me anymore. My business isn't just Relinda anymore. And it's actually growing more and more into something that isn't just me. And I'm really excited about that next level. But I really wanted to share this with you because you might feel guilty. I felt really guilty about not showing up on socials. I felt like I'm missing out. Sometimes I felt threatened, even a little bit, seeing other people posting so much and getting so much success and getting so many things, and me just being blocked around posting, about writing, overwhelmed with all the things, maybe also overwhelmed with AI, online tools, and talking too long to Claude or ChatGPT. And there's just been so much, right? So that whole social media thing is a big topic for everybody. And if you have felt guilty about it, or you feel behind, or you feel like you should, I hope this episode helps, because I'm here to say social media is a great free opportunity for you to share knowledge with your people, to have people learn from you and be inspired by you and be excited by what you have to share if you show up there. And I really love it. And then it can also be a gateway into working with you. And it's only one of the gateways there. You can build a business completely without social media, right? And that is really important to know. So what did I do? How did I get to a point where I'm in my business where if I don't show up on social media at all, we still make around $30,000, $40,000 a month? How do we do that? So here it is. I have a funnel. And this sounds like, what? That's not news, Rolinda. Funnels. Everybody talks about funnels. I know. But if you have one good funnel, and that funnel goes from a Facebook ad into a masterclass with email sequences, of course, a masterclass, and then into a call. And from the call, we enroll the right fit people into one program. That's actually now already years this way. I think this would have been about 3 years ago that I started building this funnel. Before that, I did launches. So I did live challenges, even 5-day challenges. I did that up to 3 times a year. And from that challenge, we'd enroll people into the program. It's basically the same program that has kept evolving, that is now called Embodied Business Mastermind. It's such a beautiful place where I help others create really successful businesses, integrating their multi-skills, their real brilliance themselves into what they really want to do. But yeah, that funnel. So one funnel, and it's a high ticket funnel. In this case, you would call this a book a call funnel, because we don't send people to a sales page and a checkout page at this point. God knows, maybe that might change one day, but right now we don't. We send them to book a call. And that is the pathway, the sales process that we have chosen for this program. So again, there's one program that is open enrollment, so people can join at any time. It's called an evergreen group coaching program. And then we have that funnel, so an ad, which is called the top of funnel, that goes into a masterclass, which is a trust building event where you can get to know me, where I share so much about like how I see that multi-scale coaches and experts can build a really profitable and impactful business, and how to do that. And I share that, and we can put the link of that masterclass in the show notes. I do it live regularly, and we also have a pre-recorded version. But that masterclass, and then from there, book a call, right? And we have a conversation. Now, I used to have all these conversations myself. We now call this our offer mapping call. This is where we look at, do you have something that you could integrate, bundle and package, and then sell over and over again, rather that you're losing your time just with one-on-one clients, hourly rates, trading hour for dollars for hours. And if you have that, we can tell you about, like, we could help you bring this into the world. If we can see that potential, we can tell you this is what your biggest missing links, this is what you need, and we have a program to do that, right? And I used to do these conversations all myself. And in the past 6 months, I've been on the journey of building a sales team so that now we can continuously have ads running and have people come into that trust building event, into the masterclass, and then have people, the right fit people, enroll into the program. We can do that now continuously because there's actually somebody else taking those calls, because so far I was always really good in getting lots of leads, lots of people showing interest, lots of people booking those calls. But then I had to do all of them. And then I also really work very intensely with my clients. So I spend a lot of time making sure that my clients get their questions answered. And I spend time on Zoom calls with them. And I'm they're really with them, doing it with them. And that's really kept me from being able to grow consistently, because I got so tired doing all these calls that I always had to turn off my funnel. And turning off the funnel just means I turn off the ads, right? So that pathway, a funnel, is what now makes that I can continue to sell, that I can continue to exact right clients, because we literally just turn it on. We just turn on the ads And then is when we know about so much money we will spend on ads, this is how many clients we will have. So that's a really amazing way. And if I would post on social media, it would be even better. Yeah. So posting on social media is very good. If you want to do it, I think it's a fantastic thing to do. And it's also something that, as I said, it's really nice because this is where I can serve people also for free. Like all the content that you get there is inspiring, is important, is, helps you in some way or helps people hopefully in some way. But I didn't do it for a while. But because that funnel is well built and I know my people so well, and it's, of course, a program that works so well and that already so many people have been through and that has such amazing results, that's how I can now not be on social media and literally have one ad running to a landing page that then gets people in for a masterclass, that then gets people on a call, that then gets the right people who are ready to really make their business happen into the program. So that's all. It's like actually not rocket science. It's a really good funnel. Now, I do want to explain. Some people are like, yeah, I know how to build a funnel. And like building a funnel is not that difficult. To build a funnel that does this, that is literally I want more clients. Okay, I'll just turn on the funnel kind of funnel. And I know that they will come. I know the funnel will reach the right people. I know that we will get the people in that I love working with, that get great results, that really are fit for the program. That kind of funnel is not so easy to build. There's a lot of stages in that. So if we go through a funnel, I already mentioned it, but there's this part of top of funnel. So top of funnel would be the Facebook ad that goes to a cold audience, that reaches new people that might like what I have to say. And then we also have the organic social media, of course, which would be top of funnel. So those things are things that are really important, top of funnel. And then from there, something happens. Like what happens in my case, I don't even have a freebie. I know it's really important to have freebies, but I still don't have a freebie. I'm about to launch one. It's coming, but I don't have one. But they go straight into the Prosper Flow Masterclass, which you can sign up for, which is amazing. I've done it over and over again. Thousands of multi-skilled coaches and experts have gone through it, and it's so inspiring. People always absolutely love it. And that then goes into an email sequence, and again, in our case, into a book or call. So that is a funnel. It's as simple as that. But I do want to say this was not built overnight. First of all, I did years of, and this is starting 2019, I did years of life challenges. They were 5-day life challenges. So I learned a thing or two after doing 3 of those a year. I learned a thing or two, or building a live event that isn't just teaching. It's different than just teaching. That also isn't just selling or promoting, that has that really beautiful sweet spot of giving enough information, giving enough inspiration for people to start seeing that what they want is possible and that you have a pathway for them to get there. I know a thing or two on how to build an event that is really well designed. And I'm going to bring in like my experience as a theater maker here, as a choreographer, when I used to make performances. For me, this feels the same thing. It's basically an emotional journey. It is a really beautifully built event that helps somebody see where they might have limiting beliefs around something, where they have strategy or knowledge gaps around why they are not where they want to be. Because whatever it is that you do, your people don't have something right now or feel bad about something right now that they could have, and you can actually provide it to them. In that masterclass or in that free event, it could be a secret podcast, which is a podcast that you have to leave your name and email for and then get it. It could be a masterclass, it could be a mini-series videos, it could be so many things, but to design that one in a way that then somebody feels inspired to take action, maybe to buy your course from a page or your offer, or to book a call with you or with your team. It's an art. It's an art to be able to design an event like that and get the right people into your world, because you can also book a lot of calls through a funnel like that, but it's the wrong people. That is not fun, So you have that event, and that is part of it is the landing page and the emails and the event itself and the invitation that you do on that event, all of those things. We worked on that so much. So back in 2023, I did the first version of this funnel. And I remember really well, actually, the first time I did the masterclass, we got lots of leads in, we got lots of calls booked, but very little sales. And it was because the title and what the ad said, and then what I did in that event, it wasn't quite aligned. So there was just a lot of, I would say there were just a lot of the wrong people on the calls. So we had to really go in and refine everything over time. This is why I like to do this masterclass live over and over again. And that doesn't cost me so much energy anymore. It feels for me like I get on stage and I do my performance, which is not as in performing. It's like real, I'm genuinely connecting. But it is in that sense a performance, as in it has a rhythm. I know what I'm doing. I know the arcs that I'm creating, and I know how to meet those people that I really value. And I don't do tons of people in there. Like every time I do my masterclasses live, I would say there's somewhere between 20 and 50 people live. It's not tons and tons. It's not hundreds and hundreds of people at the moment. But I love that connection, and I love these real conversations that we get there. And I really engage, but it is a very oiled experience because I've done it so many times. And every time I do it, after that, I analyze what went well, what could I do different? Is there a slide I want to change? Is there something where I want to take more time or less time? Is there something that I need to take out? Is there something that I need to add in? So I've been refining that over the years so much that this is now a really dialed in, beautiful experience. Now, in that, I had moments that, again, we had so many calls booked and I did them all myself. And way too little people said yes. I had moments where the ads all of a sudden got really expensive. Then I built a sales team, which is a story for another day, but where I made a ton of beginner. We had all the great leads, but no sales because it didn't land in the right person's conversation. Yeah, the person that was there wasn't handling, and I had to fire and hire new. So there's so much in that funnel that you have to master. There's so much learning in there. And I really want to say that, because this could be easily one of these posts that's, I just have a funnel. Oh, I need a funnel. I'll make it in a weekend. And I now says like we can do it in a weekend. But there was so much learning in this, and so much personal learning, and so much not giving up, and so much being always looking at, yeah, but this is going really well. So if we just get this part of the funnel to work, then we are getting where we want to be. And that has taken moments that I really wanted to give up. That's what I want to say, where I really touched deep moments of so much effort, so much, genuine, I want to show up for these people, and I have this amazing program, and that not working out, for it now to work out really great, right? For now to be in that moment and I'm like, this is awesome. I can do something else. I can go to the beach. I can go to I go to a training next week, an energy training. I can do all these things because not such a nice word, like the body that we build, the heartbeat of the business is beating anyway. But it didn't come overnight, and it didn't come through completely letting AI writing it and avoiding all the difficult parts. And the difficult parts, I would say, would be the sales conversations. I've done, I don't know how many. I wish I had like a clear stat that I had used one tool over all the time and I knew how many calls, but I've done so many calls, like thousands plus sales calls. And that has been so much learning. It's been hard, but also so good. And I so know my person right now. I have done rewrites again of the masterclass, of the slides, middle of the night, like getting this inspiration and sitting and redoing the slides and trying it again and giving it another go and testing this out and that out and testing the ads out and all the parts of the funnel, continuously working on it for now it to be an asset. And that's why I call it, when people start to create, when I help somebody to create this, I call this is your $1 million asset, because you're going to make $1 million or way more through that one asset where you continuously over time can enroll people in. And this is what my former coaches, Rose, said really nice. She always said, this is like a marriage. it is like a marriage, as you really connect to that, like, hey, we are going to go through this for better and for worse, right? This is when things go bad and good, I'm going to continue to optimize, to look at how can we make it better. But then when you have something that's working, that's when you can come out and say, I didn't post on social media for 1.5 years and I still had my best year already in June, already made more money than we usually do in a whole year. So that is what it is. This is my way that I did that. I'm now excited because I'm starting to feel the capacity, because I worked in the past 6 months, as I said, so much on like expanding my team, finding the right team members. I had to fire people. I had to rehire. I had to relearn, honor how much I have built and how I run my business, and with the integrity that we show up with, and the real people that we invite, and all these things. I had that all done. So I have the team now. I have the systems, and we're currently doing some other upgrading systems because AI makes things so much more accessible. There's so much more available right now that I'm definitely spending time learning that. I will update you on that as well. I have, of course, the programs. I have the hours and hours and hours of teaching that I did that we are now all turning into, knowledge in the program through AI, which is amazing, but it only could be there because I've done it all and because all these sessions are recorded and because we have all that amazingness. So with that, now I have this really fortunate and beautiful situation where I can say, even if I walk away, we're still making lots of money. We're still helping lots of people. And it's still really, there's just value continuing on, really beyond me having to put in my hours and my time. So if that is your vision, then do know that it is possible. And if you feel like, actually, I do want to build a business completely off social media, know that it is possible. You can do that. I can tell you how. And again, if you want one of those free sessions that I was talking about with my sales team, just go to the link that we'll put in the show notes and you can get a free offer mapping call. And we could map out, okay, this could be your offer. This could be a way for people to find you. And if you really want to start building that, I'll be there. Yeah. My program also, I work with people longer term. Why? Because none of this is created overnight. None of this is created in a day. It just isn't true. It is all about creating it, doing it, testing it, seeing what the feedback is, seeing what the results are, reiterating, going again, and then really making sure that you get to where you want to be through continuing to show up. So this is the real story behind why we had such a good year already. It gives me so much space and so much excitement for many cool things coming up. I'm going to share that with you in the coming episodes. And the first thing is this weekly podcast is back. I'm very excited about it. We're back. I can't wait to share all the things that I've learned over the past year, all the exciting things. I have so much news to share. I'm not going to do it yet, but it's coming in the coming episodes. And I do want you to know you can build your business your way. Yeah. If you love to appear on other people's podcasts, and that is going to be your top of funnel, your way in, and after that, you build a way for people to find you, you can do that. If you love being on Instagram, be on Instagram. If you love just running ads and getting really good at ads, you can do that. And you can combine all of these different ways for people to find you, but you can also just do one. So you can build your business your way. I believe in you. I'm excited for the times that we live in, for everything that is available to us, for everything that we can do. I'm so excited that you listen to this podcast. Thank you for being here today. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode.